Hello, everybody. It's Philip Lee returning with another episode of Civil War Chat. Today is the 17th of June. It's a Friday, 2021. And just again, a reminder to click on the subscriber button below to subscribe to this channel, and also the notification bell in the upper right to be notified when new episodes are released. Okay, today what I want to talk about is um, objective Black commentators. Although I don't know of any effective Black commentator who would support Confederate memory or the protection of Confederate memorials, I do believe, though, that an effective Black commentator can help protect Confederate memorials if they have cogent arguments that are critical of Black Lives Matter, slavery reparations, affirmative action, critical race theory, and identity politics. Now, one example I've recently found is a 25-year-old Coleman Hughes. His last name is Hughes. It's like Howard Hughes, Coleman Hughes, and he's with the Manhattan Institute. After graduating from Newark Academy in 2014 as one of 114 presidential scholars nationwide, he then moved on to Columbia University, where he graduated with an undergraduate degree more recently. Now, Forbes magazine has already identified him as one of 30 people under the age of 30 that could become prominent American leaders in the future. You can get acquainted with his work at the Coleman Hughes, quote, Coleman Hughes, close quote, YouTube channel. And there's a lot there to watch, and I recommend it. I particularly recommend his April 8th, 2021 interview with Desi-Rae Campbell, who has her own YouTube channel called Just Thinking Out Loud with Desi-Rae. Now, be advised, Desi-Rae's Jamaican accent sometimes left me confused. It may do the same for you about what she's saying, but Coleman expresses himself clearly and thought-provokingly. Nonetheless, Desi-Rae is no dummy. She holds a BA in biology from Bard College and has authored a book on cryptocurrencies. Consider watching it on the Desi-Rae channel, Desi-Rae Campbell's channel, quote, Why I Don't Like Black Lives Matter, close quote. That's on her YouTube channel, Desi-Rae Campbell. Now, Desi-Rae is also a young Black adult, but she grew up in Jamaica, where nearly all of the residents are Black. And after moving to America at age 17, she was surprised that the native-born Blacks here in the United States are obsessed with the legacy of slavery. Now, by contrast, being Black in Jamaica was just normal. Almost everybody down there is Black, and did not confer any special victimhood privilege as American Blacks regard as a virtual entitlement because of the legacy of slavery. And consider this, even though 42% of African slave trade was with the Caribbean and only 4% was with the United States, Jamaican Blacks just don't think much about slavery and its legacy. Keep in mind that difference there. 42% of the trade with the Caribbean, 4% with the United States. That's a 10-to-1 ratio higher slave trade in the Caribbean than in here in the United States. Yet the Caribbeans are not obsessed with slavery and the legacy of slavery, certainly in the case of Jamaica. She makes that point explicitly in this interview. Additionally, islanders refer to mixed race Jamaicans merely as mixed. There's no obsession concerning what races are mixed. It could be mixed Black and white, mixed Black and Asian. There's no concern. They're just called mixed. You're either Black, like most everyone down there, or you're mixed. No obsession with which kind. Moreover, the islanders with one white and one Black parent, gain no advantage by identifying with one race or the other. Coleman contrasts that with the arbitrary decision among similarly mixed race Americans, such as Barack Obama, to identify as Black. He obviously got an advantage by identifying as Black as opposed to identifying as white. He could have identified as either. He had one Black parent and one white parent. Now, Desi-Rae says that would not happen in Jamaica. He would not arbitrarily choose to identify as black. He would just call himself mixed. If born on the island, Barack would merely refer to himself as mixed because he would gain no advantage, none, by identifying as black, nor for that matter as by identifying as white. At one point during the interview, Coleman is ruminating on the concept of white privilege, and he's just thinking out loud, and they're interesting, cogent thoughts, but he concludes by asking Desi-Rae, well, what do you think of the notion of white privilege? To which she responds immediately, I think it's a farce. As a young black man, Coleman might make a great college campus speaker capable of criticizing critical race theory and similar dogmas that are presently gaining traction in academia. Now, I'm aware of one alumni group that engaged another Manhattan Institute speaker, Heather McDonald, to deliver a speech about the delusions of diversity and the delusions of obsession with diversity. And that group may want to consider instead just contacting the Manhattan Institute, same place they got McDonald, and asking about the availability of Coleman Hughes. Now, I don't know what he might say about Confederate memory. I don't know what he might say about Confederate leaders like Jefferson Davis and Robert E. Lee or Joseph Johnson or Sidney Johnson. I don't know what he'll say about any of that. But I do know that he's capable of providing compelling criticisms of the divisive racial dogmas that are sweeping campuses today, as well as the country at large. In fact, I would recommend, if you get the time, go either to his YouTube channel or go to the Manhattan Institute website and find the video, quote, "The Parent-Led Challenge to Critical Race Theory." It's about an hour-long video, and he runs it. So with that, let me just now comment. If you want to learn more about some of the false history that we're being taught, I recommend that you get Causes of the Civil War by Philip Lee, which is available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble for $22. If you'd like to get a copy autographed by me, it's $25. But to get that, you need to email me, Phil_Lee, Leigh, at me.com. I will sell it to you for $25 autographed, and I will cover the postage if you're here in the United States. Okay, what this book does is, in addition to clearing up a number of misconceptions, it explains, it looks at the causes of the Civil War from the point of view of why the Southern states wanted it. But more importantly, what it does is it looks at the causes of the Civil War from the point of view of why the North wanted to prevent Southern secession. That's almost never asked, but it's important. It really boils down to a desire to retain economic hegemony in North America and to prevent the diffusion of blacks, whether slave or free, outside of the South. And they accomplished that. As late as 1910, 90% of the blacks, which was 50 years after the Civil War started, as late as 1910, 90% of the blacks still lived in the South. See, that's not talked about. But okay, so that's our show for today, and thanks for watching.